And we're live. A very warm welcome to everybody to this week's Gain LinkedIn Live. And I'm lucky enough to be joined by Jeff Zaranam, who is the CEO of Hollywood Hotels and also Mr. Hollywood himself. Welcome, Jeff.
Well, thank you for having me.
Fantastic to have you. I can't wait for everybody.
Uh-oh.
So before we dive in, could you just give us a little bit of background about yourself?
Sure. Well, I'm Jeff Zaranam.
And how you came to be the CEO of Hollywood Hotels.
The internet seems to be very spotty. I don't know what's going on. You're going in and out for me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, Jeff.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm Jeff Zaranam. I'm originally from Hollywood. I was born here in Hollywood. I've been in the hotel industry since 1980. What is that? 40, 45, 46 years. 1979 actually. And I've been operating and owning hotels in Hollywood for all this time continuously. So right now I've had other hotels in the past, but currently owning and operating the Hollywood Hotel, as well as renovating another hotel called the Chateau Celeste here in Hollywood, which is a older hotel, boutique hotel in Hollywood, but going to be brand new. I venture into other things like I'm opening a distillery called the Hollywood Distillery. It's opening up next week, and I do a lot of community work. I've been the chairman of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, which famously does all the stars on the Walk of Fame. We administer that. I'm now the chairman of the Hollywood Sign Trust, which owns and maintains the Hollywood sign, that sign that's right behind me. Things like that. I do other philanthropy work as well. So I've been, I get involved. I keep busy. That's the name of the game. And I'm also a sailor, so I like to sail around the world, and that's my ultimate goal, to do that. But those are the fun things I try to do. And an avid hiker too. I do a lot of hikes. I just came back from Machu Picchu. So
oh wow,
little things that I do. Yeah. So I hope that gives you a kind of a good idea of what kind of guy I am.
It definitely does. And, calling you Mr. Hollywood at the start of this live has a backstory to it, because I had a little chat with you. And apart from knowing everything about Hollywood, always having worked in Hollywood, living in Hollywood, maintaining the sign and the stars, that we see on the Walk of Fame.
Yeah. Well, you say one thing I didn't tell you is that you're calling me Mr. Hollywood. I am an official Mr. Hollywood. Which is a distinction given by the Business and Professional Women's Association, which is a national organization that's been around for over 100 years. So they blessed me with that title a number of years ago. So I am an official Mr. Hollywood.
Okay,
well.
Claim to fame.
Yeah.
Your hotel, the Hollywood Hotel has been around since, is it 1901? You told me?
It's 1902. It opened on Christmas Day, 1902. Christmas Day, 1902. Yeah.
And is it correct that the tradition of the actual term Hollywood star came from the Hollywood Hotel?
Yeah, back in the early days of Hollywood, there was no such thing as movie stars, quote unquote, that we so loosely label stars today. The term movie star actually came from, when you were in Hollywood and you became famous, the tradition was was invented by the manager, Amira Hershey, back then, and they would, Hollywood was a small place and they didn't have too many places to go dine. So a favorite place for famous actors to go dine was at the dining room at the Hollywood Hotel. And as actors became more famous, the hotel would draw a star on the ceiling of the dining room, and then they would put their name in it. So as they dined there, they would come there more because they would everybody would want to have their star on the ceiling of the Hollywood Hotel. So it was like a self-promotion for them. As years went by, the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, people would come to Hollywood and they would say, "Where's all the stars?" So they came up with the gimmick of putting the stars in the sidewalk of Hollywood Boulevard, and that's how the tradition, and that the first stars, the prototypes, were put in front of the Hollywood Hotel back in 1958, and then once the prototypes were approved, then the 1,600 stars were laid all at once in 1960, and that tradition has been following through to this day. So we add about 30 stars a year to the Walk of Fame, and it's only just under 3,000 stars now on the Walk of Fame.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a very important piece of Hollywood history that has originated at your property. And it must be incredible to work somewhere that has so much history. And then, it's a good segue actually, because what we also want to talk about today is how you're bringing that very traditional hotel with all these stories and this incredible legacy into today's, up to today's guest expectations and in today's fast moving world. So let's dive a bit into your tech stack and how you're meeting sort of those needs of today's market.
Right. Well, just recently, back in January, I switched. I've been working with PMSs. My first PMS I bought it in 1981, I think it was. It was HIS, Hotel Information System. So I've been working with PMSs a very long time, and had numerous ones throughout the years. But just recently, on January 8th, actually, we switched from a PMS called Infor to Muse PMS. And you're probably wondering, why did I change it? So when I got a demo of Muse, I found it to be the most up-to-date, most, that's keeping up with the times, and easy to use. It was all online, but the thing that really got to me is all of how easy it was to integrate with all the other software that's out there, because that's always the goal, is integrating. A PMS cannot be everything to every hotel. You're working with so many different systems, but they all have to work and talk with one another, and that has to be easy to do, and that's what I found, that Muse was a step above everybody else. Was that what they call the Muse Marketplace? So, and I've interfaced with so many other programs that I was using, and new programs, so that's the best thing I like about it. It does all the other things that I wasn't happening before either in my other PMSs. So, just even integrating with Apple Wallet to me was a novelty. I said, oh, they thought about that too. So keeping the reservations in Apple Wallet, little things like that, Muse has been taking care of. So they're paying attention to all the details to make life easier for the guest. So the emails, the integrations of how to paying online, all of the emails that people get to remind them of their check-in date or when they have to make a payment. It's just great. They can make a booking online on the Muse booking engine. So all of those things said, you know what, time to change the PMS system, because these guys are ahead of the game, so to speak.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, I think the areas that you've touched upon there, which is a big part, is payments, and the ease that payments need to be easy and quick, right? Otherwise, your client's just going to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
Want to pay us.
Yeah, and then another feature. I mean, talking about payments, the programming of there's so many different kinds of reservations. You have pay in advance. You can pay later. When your cancellation protocols are. There's so many different kind of rate plans. With Muse, you can program everything automatically based exactly on the way that each rate plan, you just dream it up, and you can program automatically when to make your get your payments or the cancellations. It was just fascinating, and it was easy to use and to set up. So that's why I changed. Where you couldn't really do it with the other systems, or if you did, you would have to call tech support. They would have to set it up for you. With Muse, you just do it all on your own. Very easy.
That's great. And has the kind of ease of this system, or the different functionalities of the Muse system, changed your operations in any way? Have you actually opened up any new sources of revenue, or done things in a different way that you were before?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that the newest edition, I think I just added it yesterday or 2 days ago, was day use. So that's a day use is basically another company which you can sell your rooms between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. because people might just want to have a room. They want to be able to change, go to the pool, and then leave for the day. So you're getting people that are just need a hotel room for a few hours, or they might just want to come in and do some work, or they might be having a layover. So which becomes it's not a traditional stay overnight OTA, if you want to call it that. Muse figured that out, and they did a interface for that. So that's just an example of one that I just added. So another one is there's companies out there that are just selling day passes for your swimming pool. So you're selling your day use also does that. So you're selling passes to your swimming pool, which we didn't really do that in the past. You had to be a hotel guest to use the pool, but now you can, if it's very hot outside, and we used to get a lot of calls saying, hey, we just want to use your pool. So now we're selling swimming pool passes. Who knew? Things like that. And you need to keep an inventory of, the pool you can't put 100 people at the pool. So you have inventory for that. So of how many day passes for the swimming pool you can do. So, you can, the add-ons, you dream it up, Muse can do it. If you're selling, if you want to sell tours through Muse, you can do it. If you want to sell a bottle of champagne and strawberries, you can do it. If you want to have a birthday package, you can do it. And it doesn't have to happen when people are making the reservation. They will get a reminder. Hey, do you want to upgrade? You can do that. Do you want an early check-in? Do you want a late check-out? You can add it after the fact, before you check in, but after you make the initial reservation. So, you're getting that incremental revenue throughout the journey of the guest's reservation. So it's, which I find fascinating. Another one that I just added was a interface I just added was Plusgrade. Have you heard of this one? So Plusgrade is they work with a lot of airlines, and maybe you've seen it, where you can say, I want to upgrade from economy to business class. Have you seen that? And you can bid on it. Yeah. So the reason why you probably didn't buy that business class, it was too expensive. But maybe, but you would pay, you were going to pay less. You would upgrade to business class if it was paid less, if you could pay less for it. So same thing. So they translated that into the hotel industry. You might have wanted that suite, but it was $300 more per night. But if it was $100 more per night, I would have taken it. So they created this bidding program, whereas if that suite isn't sold a day before, you can bid on that suite, pay up to whatever you want to pay, and then the program will choose you. It'll choose the highest bidder to go into that suite. So that you're getting incremental revenue. You might not be getting the full amount, but you're getting that incremental revenue through software, through technology. So I found that fascinating. So I signed up with that. So little things like that. And it was so easy. That's the main thing. It's easy to sign up on all of these different programs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not this crazy complex thing to do, right? You can just add a little one, add a bit more, and at the end of the year, that must add up to a lot more revenue for property.
It does. It adds up. Every little bit helps. Especially in the economy today. So every little bit helps. But it's the main thing is that it's easy. I mean, before with the other PMS systems, I would have to call. Well, that's difficult. You want to do that. It's going to cost you X amount of dollars to add that integration. Then they're charging you every year for that integration. It's like, no, I want it now. I want to sign up. Muse doesn't charge an extra fee. It's like you click on it. I want to sign up. Boom. There's no extra fees. And you're in, Of course, there's an extra fee for whoever you're charging in. I mean, those people have to make money, but there's no extra technology cost to add another, another software or integration into Muse. So,
yeah,
amazing. So those are the little things. They're not nickel and diming you on every little thing. So that's what I liked about Muse, and it's.
Yeah.
But the main thing is that it's easy. It's easy to add other programs or remove other programs. You might be changing up one company over another, and you want to switch it out. That's easy too.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, you need to stay agile today as a hotelier, and what worked yesterday doesn't work.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. You got to be agile. One of the things that's popping up, and I haven't pulled the trigger yet, is AI. AI phone technology is your phones can be answered by an AI agent, but they have to be able. You don't want an AI agent saying, well, how, where are you located and give me directions, or do you have a pool or not, or those are the easy types of questions. But you want an AI agent to take a reservation in a human voice from A to Z, meaning, and you know how complicated it can be to make a reservation. I'm coming from this date to this date, and I want to stay in a room with 2 beds, and I have 2 kids, and putting all of that information through an AI agent and making the reservation and sending out a confirmation. That's a difficult thing to do. Muse has connected with companies to do that. So that's brand new. And, so we're testing that out now to make sure, because you're dealing with payments, you're dealing with credit cards, you're dealing with all these different things. But it does it. I mean, I can't imagine my other PMS doing something like that. So, that's the newest thing, AI. That's how AI is being integrated into PMSs through AI agents now, and we're not live with it yet, but it looks we're almost there on that.
Wow.
But you have to program. You have to give the AI a lot of information in order to do everything. But that piece of making that reservation, that was the most important thing for me. AI agents have been around, but they, to follow it through with taking a reservation from A to Z and making that booking, that's the newest. That's the newest for me.
Wow, I'm quite blown away by what you've done in the last 6 months, because it sounds like you've been extremely busy.
6 months. It is 6 months. Yeah, we're in June. Yeah, it's gone by so quickly. But I mean, that's a speed you can improve on in with Muse, because it's only been 6 months, but I mean, I can tell you within the first month I saw an improvement right away, especially in revenue. So, I also added Atomize, which is a revenue management. That's like the hardest thing to do. Is like, what do you charge per night? In this fast-paced world, a human cannot figure out what is the optimum price to charge per night on any given day. And if you have 12 room types like I do, what do you charge for each room night? It's impossible. So you need the technology to help you figure that out. And if you want to do it manually, you can do it. If you want the program to do it automatically, you can do it. So that's been helping a lot too. And you're also going to get again, it's all about getting that incremental, optimizing your revenue for your property. So these are just some of the things that I've been working on. You know, at the same time, I'm working on automating a distillery. And building another hotel and figuring all that out. So Muse is going into the other hotel too. I've already signed that contract, and I'm you know, but with new hotels you have new opportunities. So I'm over there. I just signed a contract yesterday to put in Assa Abloy, which is Vincard, to integrate the locking system so that people can, you know, make their reservation, get their key on their phone, and go straight into the hotel and open up their door. You know,
brilliant. Yeah.
You know, how easy is that? So, you know, so with the, you know, with the cost of labor continuing to go up, you need to figure out how to bring in more technology to handle a lot of these tasks so that you can keep your labor costs at a minimum, right? So the more that labor costs go up, you're trying to offset those costs with technology.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it. I'm an accountant too. I didn't know if I told you that.
No.
So
on the side.
That's the accounting hat that I put on. So yeah, I don't do accounting for others. I just do for myself. So but I have that mindset.
Yeah.
You know, costs and expenses constantly going through my head. So, yeah. So labor costs, you know, labor costs in LA, it just keeps going up and up and up. Exponentially almost.
Yeah.
It feels like, you know, there's always another ordinance being passed by city hall, you know, increasing the wages. So you got to keep a cap on all of that, you know.
Yeah.
And you do that through technology, and Muse really helps me achieve those goals. So my hat's off to Muse.
Well, thank you. I mean, we're wrapping up here, but you know, my takeaway from what you've just said is you're very cleverly future-proofing your hotel, because, you know, like I said, all these incremental revenues, plus you're clearly keeping an ear to the ground about what you have Muse in place, and now you're keeping an ear to the ground about what other technologies are coming in that you can plug into that system and just boost your revenues going forward and protect your bottom line in the future, because we're in a competitive environment. So thank you so much, Jeff. I mean, honestly, I think I could talk to you for about another hour about Hollywood, Muse, what you're doing with your tech stack, but unfortunately we have to wrap up.
It's been 20 minutes already?
It's been 23 minutes, Jeff, and we have to say goodbye.
See, I told you how it's going to go fast. It's amazing.
It's brilliant. You'll have to come on another live another day, and we'll do Hollywood Hotel Part 2, because there's a lot more to unpick there, and you've been a great guest. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, look forward to seeing what you do next. I mean, if it's anything like the last 6 months, it's going to be spectacular. Well done.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Have a great day ahead. Bye, everyone.